Okay guys, so I'm going to be filming this video here. We're going to look at r/2 sentence horror. Yeah, that's what it is. Yeah, 2 sentence. Okay. I'm gonna read this in first person. These aren't mine. Somebody else made them. You can go look at them. Anyway, this one they haven't made, or they haven't actually used themselves. One I heard a while ago, not taking credit for this. Growing up with cats and dogs, I got used to the sounds of scratching at my door while I slept. Now that I live alone, it is much more unsettling. My grandmother told me that it was a gift to see the angel of death in front of people's houses. To know that he'd be collecting someone there soon, that it was a gift too. Up until the day I began to see it in front of every house. Let's look at the replies real quick. Selling cookies, so delicious. My sister says that Mommy killed her. Mommy says that I don't have a sister. Let me see. I begin tucking him into bed, and he tells me, "Daddy, check for monsters under my bed." I look underneath for his amusement and see him, another him, under the bed, staring back at me, quivering and whispering, "Daddy, there's somebody on my bed." Yesterday, my parents told me I was too old for imaginary friends, that I had to let her go. They found her body this morning. Okay, anyway, don't be scared of monsters. Just look for them. Look to your left. Look to your right. Under your bed, behind your dresser, in your closet. But never look up. She hates being seen. Balls. The spider. Can't move, breathe, speak, or hear. And it's so dark all the time. If I knew it would be this lonely, I would have been cremated instead. For years, we heard the little voices and footsteps of the ghost children in our old farmhouse. We've got used to them. The one day they went quiet. Then one day they went quiet, which should have been our cue to leave. The doctors told the amputee he might experience a phantom limb from time to time. Nobody prepared him for the moments, though. When he felt cold fingers brush across his phantom... Okay. I ain't reading all that. I'm sorry, guys. Here, I'll take a second to slowly pan across. If you guys want to pause. And then again. Wait. If you could see here. Okay, so now go down. I would so read that book. Okay. Woke up to hear knocking on glass. At first I thought it was the window, until I heard it come from the mirror again. What if Jesus' teachings and science are more connected than we think? Oh, I didn't realize that this was oh my God. Oh, I'm stupid. They celebrated the first successful cryogenic freezing. He had no way of letting me know he was still conscious. Poor Walton. didn't. When I finally grabbed her in the darkness, I swam back to the surface. It never occurred to me how fast the ice could freeze over. The operation wasn't successful in the traditional sense, since my sight didn't return. But it left me with the ability to distinguish heat signatures, at least. 3 weeks have passed, and I'm still not sure how to politely ask my best friend why he's room temperature. I think I get it. It might be a ghost, so he can't see him because he's room temperature. I don't know. Anyway, I can't sleep, she whispered, crawling into bed with me. I woke up cold, clutching the dress she was buried in. After so many years living alone in this large house, came to a startling revelation. In this time, I had closed far more doors than I had opened. Okay, there's a picture in my phone of me sleeping. I live alone. Bae caught me slipping. The last thing I saw was my alarm clock, flashing 12:07, before she pushed her long, rotting nails through my chest. Her other hand muffling my screams. I sat bolt upright, relieved it was only a dream. But as I saw my alarm clock reading 12:06, I heard my closet door creaking open. Years ago, a lone chair appeared in the center of my basement. No matter how many times I put it back in the corner, I always found a way back to the center. It took a long time to realize it was positioned underneath the kitchen, almost like somebody had taken a seat at the dinner table with the rest of us. You know that weird full body twitch you get sometimes when you're falling asleep? There was a camera pointed at you, and saw that it captured at that moment, you'd never sleep again. I don't. Delivered the mannequins in bubble wrap. From the main room, I began to hear popping. The longer I wore it, the more it grew on me. She had such pretty skin. After struggling desperately to move any part of his paralytic, I think I'm saying that. Dang, what is wrong with me? His paralytic body, just to alert the doctors that he was conscious before they made the first incision. He was relieved to see that one of the nurses had noticed his pupils dilating from the bright light. She leaned in close and in a whisper that tickled his ear, said, "You think we don't know you're awake?" Okay. She wondered why she was casting two shadows. After all, there was only a single light bulb. "You stupid B-word," I cried as he tied me to the rails. "Don't you know this line has been abandoned for years?" "Of course I know," he said, walking away. "No one comes here at all." "Oh. Are you serious?" Working the night shift alone tonight. There's a face in the cellar staring at the security camera. I wake up and everything feels wrong. It's too quiet outside. Look out the window and see everyone standing still, looking at my house. Yeah, that's a lot to the terror aspect. It's been watching me for hours now. Sometimes I catch a glimpse of its reflection on the computer screen. Computer screen. But I dare not turn around. You could at least stop. grinning face stared at me from the darkness beyond my bedroom window. I live on the 14th floor. He came to my door near sunset, put his cold hand in mine, whispering that he had seen it as he fell to the ground dead. We still don't know how he got out of the morgue. Okay, they say practicing smiling in front of a mirror makes you feel happier. I wish my reflection would join along. Take a big clean mirror and stand perfectly. I've always heard to put your fingers on the sides of your mouth, pull it open as wide as you can, like when the dentist takes a picture, and then chomp in the mirror. It really makes you realize how you're just some skin on a skeleton. Attending his funeral today was really scary. Might have been the constant muffled screams I heard or the worry of somebody noticing the dirt on my hands. Being buried alive was bad enough. Realizing I wasn't alone in my own grave was worse. Pet shelters close. Beef strangely cheaper. Orphanage close. Ham strangely cheaper. Okay. Back against the door, desperately trying to keep the ferocious dead out. I looked in the mirror. My reflection raised his hand, in a goodbye, and smiled sadly. Never to be needed again. I was having a pleasant dream when what sounded like hammering woke me up. After that, I could barely hear the muffled sound of dirt covering the coffin over my own screams. My daughter won't stop crying and screaming in the middle of the night. I visit her grave and ask her to stop, but it doesn't help. She asked me why I wasn't breathing so heavily. She asked me why I was breathing heavily. I wasn't. To get home tired after a long day's work and ready for a relaxing night alone, you reach for the light switch, but another hand is already there. My grandfather, who died of Alzheimer's several years ago, refused to let the house lights be turned off at night. The light he offered was the only thing keeping the dark men away. What terrifies me about those two sentences is that they're true. The lights didn't go off in the house at night for 3 months. behind you. It's always behind you. But nobody else can see it. Wait, is it my hat? You wake up. She does. I don't understand. You open the door and begin to step out onto the stoop and here to your job at the bottle cap factory. God dang it, another making bottle caps. You mutter to yourself. That's when you notice the area outside of Sheila's apartment, which used to be a quiet residential neighborhood in South Mills, Minneapolis? I don't know. Is now molten hellscape, populated by winged demons screaming for your danged soul. Bad practically. Thanks, Obama. Oh, wait, what? I've always liked this picture of my great-grandmother. Why does she seem closer to the camera than before? When next you are completely alone, imagine you're listening to a sound of some okay. That's when that sound seems to stop, you'll know that you've been noticed. Thanks, I'll never be again. We're watching to make sure you don't get hurt. The trains were delayed today. There's something in the tunnels. Most laugh tracks were recorded in the early 70s, and most of those people are dead now. That means the dead are laughing at us. The lady with the mangled, bleeding face chased you in the staircase up to the building's roof. You jump off, turn your head to the right, and see her falling next to you. This was an actual dream I had. I woke up short of breath. His reputation as the best surgeon in the world is well deserved. In a lesser talent's hands, I would have died weeks ago and escaped his revenge. You lay down in a bed and turn your lights off. When you move your hand, you feel seaweed, followed by a whisper that says, "I'm old Greg." I don't know. Yeah. You ever drunk Bailey's from a shoe? I'm sorry, we ran out of break sticks. No! Ignore the sound of my roommate tapping on the door, asking me to let him in. Ignore it, as I'm watching him sleep on the other side of the room. You're the last woman alive on Earth, and you knock on the door. Guy inside doesn't answer it. Oh my God. Okay, I'm deleting Reddit.